Alright everybody, welcome to another episode. Let me check something real quick. Alright. Welcome to another episode of the ServerMaking. I've done some stuff. Now it's been a while since I recorded. The reason why is because I wanted to hear your feedback, and it looked like you guys were mainly in approval of everything that's been happening so far. So I'm just going to keep going. I did hit a bit of a roadblock in my mind of ideas, so I'm going to call upon you, per usual, get your input and see what you want to see. And I'll talk about that in a second, but first let me walk you through what we already have. So it's this map again. We're still working on it, just for a little while. We're going to do a couple of things. I'm not going to do too many episodes in a row of the same thing. It's going to rotate, so, yeah. Let me... Whoop. Get that. Let me... Whoop. Broke there. Anyways, let's just pretend like we're playing a game of paintball, right? So you get all the snowballs. Alright, so you got the snowballs. Come down. And I want to... This water, I don't like it. We're going to think of something else. Some other safe way down, which might just be a moat down here that you have to jump in, or a couple different pools that you have to jump in, rather than water streams all the way down. I don't think those look that good. Anyways, and then you've got this big tree stump in front of you. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of things that still need to be done. I'm definitely going to have some sort of obstacles in the way here. Definitely some little mushrooms scattered around and some big mushrooms scattered around. But you can come in here to this new thing, which I'm sure you've noticed by now, which is a tree stump, which I think is pretty cool. I'm actually pretty proud of this. What I did was I got the disc. The fill down brush, and I set the radius to 20, and I pillared up really high. Well, you can see how high I pillared up to about up here, and then I just clicked down on it with the arrow, with the fill down brush with the radius of 20, and it filled a column down of wood, and then I set the radius to 18, and used the ball brush, and I set the block to air, so it took out this nice semicircle underneath, which was very cool. And then I used the blend brush to jag it up the edges, and I added some more blocks myself along the edge to make it a little more rough and make it look like a broken tree stump, but I think it came out pretty well. Then I just splattered some balls around the edges here and smoothed them out, and it ended up pretty good. But one of the things that I really like about it is that, you know, I have to make sure this is fair, especially on this side over here. You can totally climb up this thing over here. You don't have to go through the holes at the bottom and shoot. And one thing we have to do is make sure that it's fair, and make sure that you can also get up over here, which you currently can't. So you know, that'll be something to sort out eventually. You know, we could sort it out in a number of ways right now, actually. Like, let's raise these up. This will probably only take a second. It's not what I wanted to do today, so. Gotta make sure these are all walkable. These, it's kind of, on this side, it's a little bit more of a narrow staircase that you have to take to get up there. I don't know how I feel about that. The other way had a different way. I feel like these people are kind of stuck here. One thing we could consider as well is, if I find it, there they are, is some vines. Like, I wouldn't be against putting vines there, and you know, up to here either. That could be another thing to consider to make it equal opportunity. I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know if there's going to be vines incorporated into everything or not. But anyways, let's move on. And so that's what we got for the map right now. If we had a use for another tree stump, which we might later on in a future video, in other arenas, because I have some other arena ideas in my head. I will go over in video how to make this now that I know how, but I don't like doing things the first time with these plugins and on the video because it might take too long. So next we're gonna solve the problem that I wanted to solve, right? Wasting a lot of time talking, so I'm gonna be quick here. The problem that I wanted to solve next was the walls, so that we could really focus on what's going inside, right? And I tried so many things. I tried more mushrooms. I tried using the giant mushrooms, these guys, the ones you bone meal, and I tried turning them into houses that were nice. And then I could, repeat a whole bunch of them and make like a little village front here. I tried, what else did I try? I tried making, I tried like putting like one mushroom blob there, and a mushroom blob there, and trying to make it look like 3 mushroom roots that are forming up into one giant mushroom. But I was not happy with any of them. If you guys like any of those ideas, you can tell me and I can try them again. But that, I thought, you know what? Why don't you guys let me know what you guys think on that? Because I think it's gonna be good, I think, if we can get a nice looking wall that isn't just, oh, let's just put a line of bedrock. Or maybe we could do that if you guys don't care. I mean, that, but I definitely would like to see if you guys have any nice ideas first, because you guys have come up with some great ideas in the past. So instead, I decided to focus today on this, which I made with a couple of neat little... If I remember correctly, that command doesn't work in this world for some reason. Actually, what if I did Multiverse weather clear? Like, is that a thing? Okay, no. Or maybe it was toggle downfall, right? Wait, does that work? Toggle downfall. Oh, wait. Huh. Toggle edit wand, toggle place. Okay, well, we've turned weather off here, which I think is cool. Anyways, so this is how we're gonna light up the place. Is this nice mushroom that I whipped together, and we're gonna, and I like it, but I think it might be a little. I can't tell if we are gonna if we're gonna scatter a few of these throughout the map, right? Copy paste a bunch. I can't tell if we are gonna want one that has more lights on it that's bigger, or one that has more lights on it that's smaller. I almost feel like we are gonna want a bigger one. Really, to be honest, what I'd want is one that's slightly smaller and one that's slightly bigger instead of that size. And then when we paste it in, it'll, take up more or less space. Because I'm thinking, when we place them, we've got clouds in my way. When we place them, it'll be like a big one, a small one, a small one, right? And then over there, a big one, a small one, a small one. So if that's gonna work, given the space we have, I'm gonna assume this is the big one. All right. So this might not look as good when it's small, but let's just figure that out. So I got my arrow and my gunpowder here. And the way I started this, and by the way, you'll notice this dome is perfectly neat. Used a fancy trick for that. I learned a new brush, which is going to be awesome to learn. So first, get the arrow out with VoxelSniper, and shift left click while pointing at the mushrooms to get that block going, and slash B. Let's start with 3. If you notice, I use soul sand for the top, and that is a nice block that we are going to use throughout more of this arena. Yeah. So next, I'm going to bring it out over here so we have a little bit more space. As a matter of fact, let's move it. Let's put it up on this thing right here. So 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Slash U. Slash B. If we didn't do that already, to get the ball going. And we're gonna put up let's go up 3. And that's pretty good. Now /B to get the blend ball brush, which is actually going to make things look pretty nasty. Yeah, just kind of neaten things up quite nicely. /U5. Well, okay, so it didn't work out all that well. Alright, let's try this again. /BD is what I like to do. Shift left click up at the sky, which is selects the blocks, and then do /B5 to select like a block radius of 5, and then you just go down, selecting layer by layer with turning it to air. Alright, so /BB again to get ball out. /B /stew4 actually. We will do whoops /U or rather shift left click on mushroom to get the ball, and now /B3 to go smaller, and now go back up to 4, make the top bigger again. So it's kind of the big ball, then one smaller, then the big one. And /BB, blend ball again. Alright, so be a little, let's set the block size down, the brush size. So we do kind of want to keep a nice shape. So this is kind of this is fatter than the other one. I don't know how I feel about that. We might have to fix that. Now, I don't like how neat this is, so I'm just going to knock some blocks out and blend it up. Oh, that's good. That's good. That helped a lot. Ooh, it's a little too thin now, so now we can gunpowder it. And then smooth it back. A little too thin again. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta keep working it. Like it's something you need to keep working. Now, it's pretty ugly, but it's kind of the nice general shape. So we're gonna use a new command, a very simple one, /BS, which is snipe. And snipe is pretty simple. If you use the arrow and you right click, paints one block with the current block. If you right click with the gunpowder, it places it just like all the other stuff. So given that, we can just sort of make this mushroom. Oh, I have to sneeze. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't catch that on camera. Wow, that really snuck up on me. Whew. Okay. So that's looking a little better as far as the mushroom top goes, or mushroom base rather. Alright. I'm gonna break these 3 blocks. It's okay, we can thicken up this top part later. We'll just get a nice looking base. So now let's do, how tall is that? It's pretty tall. It's taller than, or it's as tall as the other one, so let's cut it down a bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna stand right here in the middle, and I'm gonna type /VH3. That changes the brush height to 3, which in this case is going to control the dome height. Then I'm going to type /B7. We're just making a guess here, which is the brush size 7, which is going to be how the radius of our dome, or not the radius, but how big the dome is. And then I'm going to type /B_dome. Now we want to shift left click while pointing at soul sand, which you can also go into creative and get it. Or another thing you can do, if you don't have it and you don't feel like doing that, you can hover over it in the inventory. You might need sorry. Something like that. Yeah, okay, so I hit it. So if you go into F3 and you press Alt-H, right? Then that starts showing, oh, maybe not. I don't know, what did I do here? Oh, there we go. So if you go into F3 mode and you hold F3 and H. It toggles whether or not if yours looks like this, stone, grass, dirt, there's no items at the end, you can do F3, hold F3 and press H, and then it does appear. And then you can hover over soul sand, which you see is $0088. So number 88, right? It's block number 88. So then if you type /V, as in Voyager, 88, select soul sand like that as well. Which you can do for any block. So that's instead of, you know, shift left clicking, you can just do that. Which, you know, I guess it's a little late for me to be saying that, but shift just, if you have creative mode, it's easy enough to find it, place it, shift left click. That might be a little easier. Anyways, so now if you take the gunpowder and you right click below you, and remember, brush height /VH, set that to 3, and the size to 7. It came out with a nice dome. Now, if you ask me, this dome is a little weak. It's a little, I like it, but it's a little too short. So /U to undo that, so /VH. We had it at 3 before, let's try 4. And this time I'm actually going to use the arrow, so it's actually one lower. Emphasize this is a shorter one. That's much better. So it's actually kind of a different style mushroom than that one. That one kind of skinny up and then out, and this one just kind of stumps out. Let's do a little bit more blending. So /BBB. Change my brush size to 2. How about? This is pretty good. Let's put the top on before we do that. So I'm going to do /BD, which makes it the disk. Shift left click on mushroom. /BD, /B4. 4. We'll do 4. And then put that right under there. And now /B2 right there. So what we did was we kind of connected them right there. /BB. Oops, sorry. /BBB. It's going to be doing a lot of blending now. Which, as you can see, is kind of mixing up the blocks, which is not really what we want. But that's okay, we got a lot of fixing to do with this mushroom, and that's fine. Alright, so that's not half bad. I like what we got right there. But as you can see, the blocks are a little weird. And by that, I mean, like, they're kind of bleeding into each other, which you know, you might like. I personally don't like that look. I'm gonna just remove this, some of this extra soul sand. Now I'm gonna slice /BS, which is getting into snipe again. Make sure you got that huge mushroom selected. I'm gonna use my arrow to replace some of these with the mushroom. And you can't just, not that one. You can't just middle click to get it in creative mode because it just gives you the mushroom item. So, you know, we gotta do it like that. Now that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. One thing I like about these is that they actually can be climbed on, and you can actually, without flying like I just did, you can actually get pretty high on them. That's important for gameplay, I think, in terms of the paintball arena. Give someone a little bit of an upper hand. You know, if someone's behind cover, you come up here. This right here. This is a spot. Shoot your right there. Nice. So next, we're gonna grab glowstone and. There's the cobweb. I liked cobweb. I think of this as the ooze hanging down off of the mushroom. So just gonna start putting a few. Gonna try to make them kind of in random places. Some of them higher up, some of them lower down. Yeah, those two are a little too close to each other. Let's make this one go a little lower, actually. And I kind of like how if you had climbed up, you know, somewhere over here, be a little stuck there. I don't know, it's kind of cool to have that in your way. Let's get one right there. Kind of really short, really high up there. Yeah. And you can get another short one. This one's shorter than the other mushrooms, so it's kind of hard to get height variety in these things. You can't extend them too far without them being in the way of people walking. I don't want any of them to be this low, you know, where you can just kind of do that. I don't know. Seems to be a bit, then it would be a bit distracting and everything, so can I keep them a little higher than that? Let's go like up here. Looking good. These are some nice mushrooms we got here. Another high one. Actually, you know what? Let me move that over here. Ooh, what? That way we can put one back from here. And I want it to be get pretty long. Yeah. So another thing to keep in mind is this here. So if I got in here, right, during a paintball game, paintballs, arrows go through cobwebs. Paintballs, or snowballs, they do not. It's kind of hard for me to know for sure, but they're breaking. They do not go through snowballs. Or, snowballs do not go through cobwebs, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, I'm thinking one more. So and my point is that you might be invincible if you stand dead center in this block right here. You might actually be unhittable. But you also can't throw any out. So I guess it's not a problem, right? If it is a problem, we'll change it later. Maybe get rid of cobwebs and use glass or something. Let's just put one more cobweb, or one more ooze drip right there. Alright, so that's fairly random, and you know what, I don't actually like the placement of that one. Put it out one. And up one. There, I like that better. Alright, so both of these will be copied and pasted into the map, which I thought we would get to today, but oh, I also forgot that in the process of smoothing out the bottom, it kind of screws with the top. I just gotta do that. I don't think I'm gonna have a way to get up on top here. This slow sand would make you pretty vulnerable, but soul sand is the type of block that I want to have, like, out here, just in kind of a... let's get it on the diagonal, I guess. You know, like this kind of a pattern, right? Something like that. Maybe something over here to make it a little fair. Or maybe just in straight line barricades. Right? I don't know. Just something like that for paintball. I think I'm going to use that block. But that's going to come way later. I'm doing bigger pieces first and then getting smaller. That way we don't clutter things with dinky little barricades and then don't have any room for big stuff. Start big, start broad strokes, and then get finer and finer detail. So next episode I want to do something else rather than work on this, because you guys have seen a lot of it. I would say that I was gonna say, let me just check the time and see if we can copy and paste these things in, but I'm pretty confident we don't have the time. So I'm gonna end this here, and next episode I think I'm gonna work on Spleef. And so that's going to be a little different, and I think we are going to get to the tree building in a very similar way that I built that tree there for a Spleef arena. And I have to figure out how that plugin works first, though. So we'll know next time whether or not we're gonna be able to have Spleef on this arena. And yes, that's pretty great. I want to mention a few things before we go. First of all, you guys have been offering up your help. You have some knowledge of server building, and that's awesome, and I appreciate that, and I would probably call upon you guys for help on the server stuff when and if I need it, and I really appreciate that. But I think the biggest way you guys can help me is for building ideas, if you guys have any. You know, no big deal if you don't, we'll come up with something, but if you do, I'd love to hear it, because it certainly saves me a lot of, let's try this, oh, it doesn't look good, let's try that, it doesn't look good, you know? So, you know, keep that in mind, send it my way. You can send me through Twitch, through YouTube, through Twitter. You can build something, take a screenshot of it, and tweet it to me or something like that. And let's see, what else? Well, I had a few other things. Oh, that's right. As of recording this, the actual server is down, the old server. So we are going to rush to get this server out, and it is not going to be perfect. There are not going to be all the shops. There are not going to be all the PvP games, maybe even. We're just going to do a few, but I'm going to get it set up very quickly. Basically, what needs to happen is all the major building and the permissions and the actual Buycraft thing to get you guys up rank, or up to a new rank where you're actually allowed to do all the things in the permissions. And then it's going to be in beta mode, where it will not be accepting new people, but everyone who used to be on it will be on it, and they will have many of the many, if not all, of the permissions, probably all the permissions that they can have as people who are formerly on the server. And then I'll begin not only fixing issues that we had before, but adding in all the rest of the features, maybe adding in a capture the flag map. So expect it to go down a lot, but also that might take a while before we even get to that point. So it's going to be down with no access to a Ordinance server for a little while. But that is all I have to say. Loving that you guys are still watching, loving that you guys are leaving those likes, and I hope to have a new series for you soon. It's not going to be an LP because the server's down, which is too bad, but it might be an adventure map. Thanks for watching. That's all I got, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.